The day of play has arrived. Your students and maybe you will be excited and maybe a bit nervous. In this chapter, we'll talk about how to pair and support both sets of students together to have a successful interaction. You, your partner teacher, and the paraprofessionals are the best resources for this. Here's a great opportunity for staff to be the bridge between both sets of students and to model the behavior you want to see reflected in them. They're registering everything you say and do, looking for cues that this experience is okay, especially if the differences are more profound. So let's talk first about pairing the students. When pairing students with and without disabilities on the playground, we strive for the following guidelines.
Okay, Brentwood, can I have two friends for Mana? You and you, yes, come on over.
2 to 1. It's often easier for students to connect in small groups. 2 students from the general education class with 1 student with a disability works well. One-on-one can be better if the challenges aren't as severe, or if the student has autism and won't be comfortable in a larger peer group. Size and activity level. We try to pair the more active kids with each other and the more passive students together.
Take the boys' hands. Take the boys' hands. It looks like he has a lot of energy.
Some of our students on the autism spectrum tend to run a lot in the play environment, and it helps to find partners who meet that high energy.
How old is she?
Madison's a 5th grader. She's like you, a 5th grader.
Yeah.
Age. The best possible pairing is peer-to-peer. Older students with disabilities can be understimulated by partnering with younger students without disabilities. It can also be difficult for younger students to navigate the needs of their older peers with disabilities. The best social outcomes are found in age-appropriate connections. However, if necessary, pairing older general education students with younger special education students will also lead to a positive social interaction. Past history. Some students have siblings with a disability, which can affect their desire to partner with someone with similar challenges either positively or negatively. They may want to pair with someone similar, given their familiarity with the challenges, or want to play with someone completely different. Are you introducing students with and without disabilities who have never met? Are they students who see each other at school but don't often interact? Either way, taking the time to introduce students, even if they have met just to reinforce the connection, is one of the most important steps in socialization. If the students with and without disabilities are simply placed together, more often than not, we find that they play separately, within their comfort levels. If adults take an active role and reach out to connect both sets of students, taking time to introduce them and find out more about them, it will increase the social connections. If you take the following actions first, showing your students how to engage, they will follow. Here are a few tips to make the most out of student introductions. For students using wheelchairs, get down to eye level with that student and introduce yourself. Hi, my name is. Ask the general education buddies to do the same. That way everyone can make eye contact. Reach out and shake a hand. It seems so simple, but this beat is often missed. Even if the student can't utilize their arms, touch the back of their hand and say hi. A simple but powerful way to model respect.
You push your own chair, right?
Ask before you push. That student may not be ready to go play, or may be able to push herself. Or there may be special equipment attached to the chair that the special education teacher or paraprofessionals need to explain. Either way, asking to help push rather than assuming the child needs it shows general education students how to respect the person and the equipment she uses. Don't forget to show the students where the brakes are. Wheelchairs differ, and brakes need to be used every time you let go of those handles. Normalize differences. Tracheostomy caps, gastrostomy tubes, drooling, helmets, all of these visible differences are important to explain. Without knowledge, they can act as barriers. We recommend using easy words and phrases general education students can recognize.
This is like milk with different vitamins and fibers, things like that.
For example, The gastrostomy tube is like drinking out of a straw, except the milkshake goes right into that person's stomach. If you're a general education teacher, ask your special education partner teacher to explain the equipment or behaviors that seem different. The more time we take to explain in non-graphic language, the easier it is for peers without disabilities to move on from the visible differences. For students who are non- or limited verbal communicators, introduce yourself directly to the child, even if he can't respond verbally. You can ask teachers and aides the child's name and likes and dislikes, but always refer back to the child. For example, to the aide, what does Sam like to do on the playground? To Sam, Sam, I found out you love to swing. You want to go to the swings? Direct communication establishes respect and personal identity for children who can't articulate easily for themselves.
Hi, and this is
I'm Maddie.
Maddie.
Limit open-ended questions. Students who don't talk or have few words at their disposal can feel frustrated keeping up with the verbal conversations. Direct questions, yes or no, are easier to formulate an answer to. For example, where do you want to play versus do you want to swing?
So we ask her a question. Look, McKenna, you want to go on a swing? Yes or no? Yes. Okay.
Give time to respond. You don't have to slow your speech down. However, giving someone with limited words time to respond to you really helps. And as we tell the students, it's okay to ask the student with communication challenges to repeat himself if you can't understand him the first time.
You want to go have some fun? See, like you can tell what she wants.
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
She wants to go over there and play.
I know, but she probably is thinking something more specific.
Be a detective. Students communicate in so many ways. Sounds, gestures, facial expressions, sign language. Even without words, they have entire conversations with you. Remind your students to keep their eyes open.
So you see, you thought she just wanted to go around. But no, she knew exactly what she wanted to do.
After observing students with communication challenges during an hour of play, their buddies will be able to tell what the facial expressions and sounds mean. Find out from the special education teachers or paraprofessionals what the key signs are that will help students connect.
You know what this does?
Let's play.
Let's play.
Let's play. Let's play.
You want to play? Okay.
Some students with severe disabilities may not be able to make facial expressions as easily. Remind the general education students that even if they can't show it completely, they enjoy the friendship and play as much as any other child. For all students, make it personal. Find out shared traits, number of siblings, sports they play or love, food, music, color favorites.
Play soccer?
As they play, help the students with and without disabilities discover what they both love to do so that they see beyond their differences. Creating identity is key in moving beyond our misconceptions and stereotypes about each other. Now that your buddy groups are together, it's up to you and your team to facilitate the play. In Chapter 6, you'll learn how to help everyone have an enjoyable playdate. Before you go, here's a quick review of the points we've learned in this section.